Right, so where does that leave us, Toronto Blue Jays? Like, are we all just gonna bash our heads together until someone wins? Hello, everybody, and welcome to Blue Jays Today, where we always have something to say about the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm your host, Adam Peddle.
And I'm your host, Nicholas Playlog. And today, guys, we get the first big trade of this season. Nelson Cruz heading himself over to the Tampa Bay Rays. We are going to break all that down. If you like baseball content, though, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. All right, buddy, let's just get straight into the details here. Nelson Cruz, star DH, 41 years old, heading over to our division rivals, the Tampa Bay Rays, in exchange for what looks to be two minor league pitchers, Drew Strotman, the Rays' 17th ranked prospect, and Joe Ryan, their 10th ranked prospect, both with ETAs in 2021 and 2022.
And then they have some other dude, right? They have some other dude, some minor leaguer.
That's right. The Rays also acquired a minor league pitcher, Calvin. I'm going to butcher this last name. Fosher. He's not super big in this deal, though. The big name here is Nelson Cruz.
Yes.
Adding that to their lineup. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, obviously, my first thought as a Blue Jays fan is, God damn, like, we don't need another bat entering the AL East, especially one as potent as Nelson Cruz with a 907 OPS this season. And he's entering a team that's 57-39 first. He's one game out of first place. And their lineup this season is ranked 16th in OPS. So you're adding a guy with that 900 OPS to that lineup. It's already going to get better. And their pitching already ranked 8th is already good. So I'm kind of shocked, to be honest, just the move in general going to Tampa Bay, because they're not really typically making moves like that in the past, but they must have some cash left over from frickin' World Series last year. They're ready to go back at it again.
No kidding. I mean, in our last podcast where we were talking about all the trade rumors, this kind of came to mind and I said it. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, damn, that really makes sense, because we've seen this team. This has a pitching, like they're a World Series pitching caliber team. The offense, I look at it on paper and I'm always like, it's not so good. How are you guys winning these games? Nelson Cruz on paper, though, being a 7-time All-Star, he looks really nice on paper to me.
Fuck, dude. It's fucked. Yeah, like I mean, they're already messed up. They have a Rosarina. I've got their freaking lineup right here. They got a Rosarina, Lau, Franco, who's off to a bit of a cold start to his career, granted.
Yeah.
Meadows, Wendell's having a great year. Diaz, Kiermaier is hot and cold. Mejia is good. And then they have Zanino as well, and splitting that catching role. Walls, who comes up, is good. And now you have Nelson Cruz. And for the first time ever, I'm like, damn, you're going to have to bench one of your starters now.
Yeah, actually.
They're actually good
You're
now.
Right, dude.
Yeah.
Reading all of those names off,
those are all starters.
How did they acquire all of these guys? This is
good.
Really good. Now, granted, my friends, they did have to pay up a little bit for Nelson Cruz. We went on to baseball trade values. I was looking at it a little bit. Now, I don't know how accurate this website is.
Yeah.
You can check it out. It's awesome. Baseball Trade Simulator, really cool. But basically, they gave up a ranking of roughly 13.4 trade value, whereas Nelson Cruz being 4.5. And sadly, I could not find the ranking for Calvin Fosher, so I'm not sure how much he was. But clearly, they paid up for a guy, and they felt like this was the type of player that's going to take them to the next level. And that's my next question to you.
Yeah.
Do you think adding a Nelson Cruz to this Tampa Bay Rays lineup takes them to that next level?
Yeah, absolutely it does. Their pitching's already there. It was just the lineup, which has been hot and cold all season long. And you add someone like Nelson Cruz, who's consistent as he is, like, that's only going to help your team. And that adding a Nelson Cruz, as crazy it might seem, that might push you past the Red Sox, which I never thought would have happened. But it's crazy, man. Like, so what do you think, actually? What is your reaction to this Nelson Cruz coming specifically to the AL East, being the Toronto Blue Jays?
I mean, here's the thing. I was low-key hoping that the Blue Jays would go out and acquire this guy. There were some rumors that we were on the phone. We were talking with them. Although I also thought, too, it didn't make a whole lot of sense for our team makeup. I think this makes a lot of sense for the Rays lineup,
totally.
Their whole team makeup. It makes a ton of sense. And I also just think you make a competitive division even more competitive. Boston, chilling in first place. They look solid. They just annihilated the Blue Jays for 2 games in a row. You got the Yankees, who are now starting to surge. They have a record of 50-44. And now you got the Rays trading for an all-star caliber DH. If you want to get hard, go look at his Baseball Savant page. It's actually ridiculous. So I think my thoughts are this, dude. I think there could very easily be a World Series team coming out of the AL East, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know which one it's going to be at this point.
Yeah.
But I think if I was to place money on it, there's going to be a World Series team coming out of the AL East.
Well, you'd think so, right? I mean, is Tampa, like, let's ask it specifically for Tampa now. Like, is Tampa a World Series team? Well, they were one last year. However, they did lose some pitchers.
Yes.
They, Glasnow, he's not back yet, is he?
I believe he is still injured.
Right.
Please correct us.
Please
in the
correct
comments,
us.
guys.
But like, yeah, like you, I think this isn't going to be the first move. Like, if they're getting someone like Nelson Cruz, they definitely have their eye on another pitcher. If they grab another pitcher, and then they get Glasnow back, now I'm looking like this guy's a good contender. Them and like White Sox, and then I mean, how could you not say the Houston Astros as well?
Houston
Those would be the
Astros,
three
too.
favorites. And the Boston, like, God
That's
dang.
the thing, though. I
God
think
dang.
that this sets
It's
a
so
domino
solid.
effect in, because it's like Boston's going to see this and go, nuh-uh, we want this division.
Yeah.
And now they're going to go out and they're going to make a move. And the Yankees, with their trigger finger as happy as it typically is come trade deadline, are going to say, hey, wait a second, we're right here, guys. What about us? Come to our team.
Right. So where does that leave us, Toronto Blue Jays? Like, does it even make any sense? Are we all just gonna bash our heads together until someone wins?
I mean,
that's what it seems like in the AL East.
That's the thing, dude. Somebody can't make playoffs here, and it's crazy to say because I think these are all playoff teams. Now, just transitioning a little bit, we haven't even really talked about what the Twins get out of this.
Right.
But I do
Let's
like
do it.
this a lot for them. They
too.
got some really good value out of Nelson Cruz. He probably wasn't going to come back. They're not going to make postseason this year, and the guys that they traded for are pitchers that can come up and play in the next year or 2 years. In fact, Joe Ryan, his ETA was 2021.
Yeah.
I don't think their window's done yet. I think that they just got off to a horrible start this season. They dug themselves a hole. But I mean, could they compete next year or the year after that? Totally.
Yeah, I mean, they still have good bats left. You still got Josh Donaldson. They got a few rookies too. Like, I'm gonna totally butcher his name. The guy with the K. Someone let me know in the comments down below, please. But like, their window is still here, like you're saying. And they're going to be shipping off Pineda as well. Michael Pineda definitely is going to be going this year. I'd be shocked if he didn't. So that's just another pitcher gone. And like Maeda, like Kenta Maeda, is not performing what he's supposed to be doing. And then Barrios has one last year left here. If they don't trade him this year, it's going to be next year. So I don't know, man. Like it does seem. I do like the trade for them though.
Totally.
I like how baseball trade value does have them as favorites. However, it all depends on the way you look at it. If I'm a Tampa Bay Rays fan, I'm going cool. I have lots of other pitchers too as well coming out. We are good at developing pitchers, not a bad thing for us. Nelson Cruz is actually really good for our team because we need the offense, but I love it from the Twins' point of view too, so it works both sides for me.
Yeah, no, I agree, dude. I think final thoughts on this deal are that it works for both teams. I hate to say it as a Blue Jays fan, but the Tampa Bay Rays are looking pretty scary. But guys, please let us know in the comments down below your thoughts on this deal. Nelson Cruz to the Rays, the first big trade of this season. Many more to come. We're going to be covering them a lot here, but I want to know your thoughts in the comments down below.
Guys, if you're sick of looking at our faces, you can check us out on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Anchor, Breaker. You can also check us out on Instagram, Twitter as well, guys. Become a Patron. It's $3 a month, and you can become a Patron on our show. You can call in. You can talk to us. You can talk to us about this recent trade. We're going to have one tomorrow as this is coming out right now. And as well, Monkey Knife Fight, Manscaped. Those are our sponsors. If you use the code TODAYJays, you guys can get deals. You saw them throughout the video, so use them. It greatly supports our channel.
Thank you so much for watching, my friends.
And go Jays, go!